Hey everyone, how's it going? It's Nadie, and today we're trying out the Dermablend Full Coverage Sunscreen. As you fabulous people know, this is about the products, not the people behind them. Any tiff you may have with them, please cast it away, because this is a channel of positive energy. Okay? Okay. So, how you doing today? I hope you're just having a great day so far. Here it is a little bit balmy and rainy, kind of icky, the perfect day to sit down and film. And I'm kind of stoked about the product that we're testing out today, because even though on a day like today, it's really not that useful, mainly because my ass is not leaving the house today, just no. But with summer kind of creeping up on us here in the States, this would be perfect because this is SPF 50 and I don't see any titanium dioxide in this, which I'm hoping means there isn't going to be a flashback. Pretty much anytime you see the words SPF in foundation, you can automatically assume that if there's a flash around, you're going to have a ghost moment. But hopefully this doesn't have it. Of course, this does still say reapply every 2 hours because you have to when there's an SPF. Very much doubt that anybody actually will. But this is fragrance free, it's paraben free, SLS free, triclosan free. What's triclosan? I don't know what that is, and I probably should know. Maybe before I get too far into this, we should check our color. I got 25N, and it might actually be okay. Probably a little bit on the yellowy side, although in person it does look kind of peachy, but on camera it might look a little bit yellowy. I don't know. We'll definitely have to pull the match meter up on this one. All right, let's hop our little nuggets over to the Ulta website. It looks like this retails for $39. That's a lot of money. Hopefully, maybe you only have to use a very small amount of this, and this will last you a while. I don't know. We'll see. But so far, it has 4.5 out of 5 stars. The cons here say it's a chemical sunscreen. It made their face break out. It turned oily as their day went on, and it's thick and kind of hard to apply. It looks like the biggest concern amongst the negative reviews is that this does make people break out from the SPF that's in this. I'm assuming the only reason they didn't use titanium dioxide, which is the typical go-to, is because it does have so much flashback, and with this being an SPF of 50 plus, you wouldn't even need the light for this to look white on you. So in that sense, what they use does make sense, but I am totally unfamiliar with these ingredients. I know nothing about them. But even the 4 and 5 star reviews say this does feel very, very heavy on their skin, so that kind of concerns me. At this point in my life, I've kind of built up a thick skin. It's not super sensitive anymore, but I mean, it's still fucking skin, so if my skin doesn't like it, it's not gonna like it. We'll see, because a lot of the other people also say it's very natural looking, it's easy to apply, and it has a great color match. But the website says, weightless and breathable, the CC cream gives a perfectly balanced and undetectable full coverage without clogging pores or weighing skin down, fade-defying up to 24-hour color wear that stays comfortable and true. We will not be wearing this for 24 hours though, fuck. This also does have skincare mixed in with it, so after 4 weeks of use, people said their skin looked more radiant. There's actually supposed to be a lot of good shit about this, so that's kind of fun. And lastly, you can apply this with fingertips, brush, or a sponge. So my loves, let's go ahead and dive the hell in face first. I did just wash and exfoliate and moisturize my face, so we should be good. I'm gonna start off with the e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer. This foundation does look very dimethicone heavy, which is a silicone, so if you have a silicone allergy, probably stay the fuck away from this. So I think on this side, let's go in with a brush, and then on the other side, I'll use a damp sponge. They don't specify at all how much of this to use, so let's start off with a couple drops. Let me wipe the cat hair off of this. Fuck. Ooh, it is a very thick formula, so there's one little drop right there. Let's go in with maybe 3 of those. I'm a huge fan of their foundation drops, and you literally only need like 3 of these drops, so I know better than to start off titty gritty full force with this thing. We're going in lightly. Okay, let's try this. Here we go. Ooh, okay, you know, those 3 drops may have actually been plenty. Just kind of buff it in. Like usual, it does seem like I've picked a shade that might be slightly too light for me. Lately, that's just been a thing. Ooh, something smells good. Is it this? No, I don't think so. It must be my brush. Something smells fruity. Is it me? Did I turn into a scratch and sniff? No, it's not me. Must have just cleaned my brush with something yummy. But now that these 3 drops are kind of blended in, I don't know. There might be a possibility that that really wasn't enough and I might need more. But even just that did offer a tiny bit of nice kind of even toned coverage. I do think the color is a little bit too light for me, but I think once I have everything on, I don't think it'll be an issue at all. It might actually be kind of perfect. But I do want more coverage because right now I don't really see much of anything, so I'm gonna take the same 3 bloopies and try this once more. See, there I smell it again. It smells like frosting. It couldn't be this. Does it have fragrance? I feel like this brand usually doesn't, but I could be wrong. Oh, but you know what? There is an extended ingredient list here on the side, and there actually is titanium dioxide in this, or there might be. It says it may contain it. But unless the word fragrance is disguised as something else, I don't think this has any in it, so I don't know what I'm smelling. But let's go ahead and kind of tap this in and blend it out. I do see that it does kind of want to oxidize. Just from the few seconds where those drops were sitting on my face, they kind of turned orange. Not even gonna act like I mind because now it's a little bit deeper and matches me a little better, but do know that this could oxidize on you. I don't know if it was that primer that I used or what. So far, I think this is really freaking pretty, and now that it's deepening up, I think the color match might be okay, so let's go ahead and pull up the match-o-meter. Clearly, we have a difference between the two sides. This side just looks a little bit more red, and this side is evening everything out, which is kind of the point of a CC cream. It is there to color correct, and I do think it's doing a great job of it. I have no idea what you're seeing, but in person, this is almost perfect. I think the shade might be a little bit too yellow, but I think if I had this all over my face and no other makeup on, you wouldn't even be able to tell a difference between my neck and my face, so I'm gonna say this is like a 9.5. The only reason it's not a full ass 10 inches or 10 rating is because of the slight warmth that it has, but it is a neutral tone, so I kind of expect that. This is so close to being a 10, but am I gonna complain with 9.5? You bet your sweet ass I'm not. I am seeing though that this does kind of want to really accentuate my fine lines and really set into them. Like when I pull my fine lines apart, the product's just kind of collected there, and it makes that weird kind of like pigment line. So that's not a cute look. Let me go ahead and try it with the sponge. Maybe the added moisture will help that kind of blend in. So let's start with 3 little drops on the new Lunar Boutete sponge. See how it just starts off so freaking pale? Which even that color I don't necessarily mind. Oh, but you know what? I think this is quite a bit better with the damp sponge. I do want to be fair with this, and I will go in with another 3 drops, but on this side, it's almost like the product is laying on top of my skin. I don't know how well you'll be able to see the sides, but on this side, it's not like it's bad. It just could be better. And a lot of this product actually didn't get soaked up into the sponge, which is very nice. So let me go in with another 3 little drops. Do I need the extra drops? No, I think this side, just with the 3 drops, looks great. It's just like a wash of a little tint, but they did say this was buildable up to medium coverage, so we might as well try. Oh my goodness, yes. See, even with the 6 drops on this half of my face and the sponge, this looks killer. I really freaking like this. In fact, this is totally something that I would wear on its own. I was fully planning on doing a complete look today, but I kind of don't even want to. They do advertise this as being a full coverage foundation, and I am absolutely positive that you could build it up to be that with no issue. However, instead of doing like a full ass glam look today, I kind of want to wear this as I would my normal makeup. But before I do anything further, I can tell a clear difference with the blending of this side versus this side. So I'm going to take this damp sponge and just go all over my face with it, because after seeing this side, the brush side really doesn't look that great. Yes, ma'am. What do you think? The neutralizing that's happening right now is incredible. I do have a good bit of redness right here around my nose area. It is still slightly there, but not bad. I have to really look hard to find any discoloration on my face. For the most part, this is pretty damn good, extremely natural looking, and super comfortable. I don't know if it's because of the amount that I used or because I used a damp sponge, but this doesn't feel heavy on my face. It feels very lightweight. It really doesn't feel like there's anything there, and ooh, it's very soft to the touch. Although it doesn't feel completely locked into place, so I'm wondering if maybe I should powder this, but I'm only going to use a very small amount. This is the Laura Mercier translucent setting powder on a Wayne Goss brush, and I'm just going to lightly dust this all over my forehead and then bring it downwards. It is a little bit warm in my studio today. However, I'm not exactly mad at that, because with this kind of product, I would most likely be applying it in the summer when it's going to be warm. So if this melts off in here, I know it's definitely going to melt off out there. That did seem to help for the most part. However, it is still really catching in my fine lines on my forehead, and it's still doing that weird pigment stripe thing in them. Unless you know some magical makeup trick that I don't know, or you instantly set this, I would probably stay away from this if you do have fine lines, because I don't even have like deep set wrinkles, and this does kind of age me. However, everywhere else on my face, I do think this does look really well. It is slightly clinging to my dry patches, but really not that bad. Even with exfoliating moisturizing, I can still see the dryness there, but is it super duper fucking noticeable? No. In fact, with the way my skin is today, that would probably show up with any foundation. I think my biggest issue is its creasiness, because even under my eyes, even where I already set, it is starting to get worse. So even though I did powder very lightly, I might still apply a little bit of concealer under my eyes. I know it's frowned upon, but trust me, worse things have happened. So I'm just gonna take a few drops of my Marc Jacobs Extra Shot and just blend it out right under the eyes. Hopefully this will kind of melt that foundation and just help everything reset into place. Ooh, yes, those are playing together really nicely, even over that little bit of powder. Very pretty. Wow. Okay, so now that I get this second crease chance, let me now reset under my eyes. That looks 100 times better, at least in person. So this is actually the perfect day to do this, because I'm going to be going on set for the lighting shoots for my upcoming products, just testing out different techniques for the flashes, so this will really be put to the test. I don't need to wear anything, let alone makeup to this, but I might as well do like my everyday natural glam. Usually I don't even wear a CC cream. I typically use my moisturizer, maybe a little bit of primer, and then the Tarte Ultra Creamy that I blend out with this crown brush. It's a super super fluffy ass stippling brush, but this thing is freaking amazing. I think it was like $3. Then after I blend that out, I usually go in with either the KVD or the Laura Mercier translucent powder, which brings us to the part that we can actually do. For a highlighter, I take this on my eyes and my cheekbones. This is the Kiko Milano Arctic Holiday highlighter stick. I like to take a little bit on my fingers, and then starting on the inner corner of the eye, I place it all over the eye from the lid to the brow. If you do have more hooded eyes, definitely don't recommend doing this because it probably will accentuate the hood, but I'm gonna end up kind of doing a little bit of an eye contour, so I don't really mind. Then I'm gonna take a little bit down the side of the face. This stuff is so great. I think I got it like 75% off when I was in Miami a couple years ago, but it really is good shit. It's one of the only cream highlighters that doesn't disturb my makeup. It blends out so effortlessly and it just looks great. And then with whatever's left on my finger, I'll just kind of rub it on my lips and kind of accentuate my Cupid's bow. Not so much that I get a milk mustache, just a little baby highlight. Then I'll go in with some ColourPop Luxe Oil. This is in the shade Truth Bomb, and I'm a thirsty ass bitch, so I'm gonna let my lips soak that up while I bronze up. This is the Laura Mercier Soleil #1, and I'm gonna take a travel size flat foundation brush and dip into that and just take it all along the perimeters of my face. When I do these looks for test photo shoots or photo shoots, they always are a little bit more dramatic, so if I look a little bit unnatural, it's okay because usually with the flash and everything, it does look more natural. But this is basically all I'll use for a contour, so I'm gonna take some underneath my jawbone, on the sides of my nose. Then with the corner of this brush, I like to take a little bit more bronzer and kind of focus it on the outer corner of the eye and feather it outwards. And what I'm hoping that's doing is kind of bringing a little bit of a lifting effect. I don't think it's super visible, but TikTok says it works. Then I like to go in with a little bit of baked blush, which is a little bit too deep for me. Do I have any fucking right using this? Hell to the no, but I still love it. It's almost like a shimmery contour, so I just take this right below where I just put the bronzer, and this just adds a nice little sheen to my skin. Again, it is way too deep for me to use as a blush without any other makeup, but after like 10 minutes or so of sitting on my face, it just looks really good and natural and pretty. Then to finish up everything, I'm gonna dip into these two brownish shadows. They are not by any brand. This is from my factory. They were samples sent to me for a palette that maybe one day I'll launch, but no time soon. But I like to start off with this lighter shade and just take it on the outer corner and kind of recut a little bit of a crease out. Ooh, damn, I went in with a lot that time. I normally don't go in with that much, but I also like to take it right underneath the eye to help the eye color pop. I also normally don't get ready under these studio lights, so these might look a little bit more crazy than they actually do in normal lighting. Because right now I look like a rock star from like the 90s or 80s with this heavy blush and contour and shit. But hopefully we'll make it work. With whatever's left on the brush, I like to really focus it right here on the inner part of the eye and then take it down the nose as an even heavier contour. Then just the lightest dip into this deeper brown one, and I'm only going to focus this right on the outer corner. I'm not going any farther in than halfway. And same for the lower lash, it's just primarily on the outer edge. And then only because I am doing test photos and I just want my eyes to pop a little bit, I'm gonna take some of Pop Luxe Cali Life and place it right here on the inner corner just to highlight. Not a whole lot. I don't want it to be too obvious that I'm wearing makeup because this totally doesn't look like I'm wearing any. But here we have it. This is how the foundation looks. I mean, yes, I did go in a little bit too heavy-handed with the bronzer and blush and all that jizzy jazz, but I still think this looks great. Now that there's a few more products on my face, this does look extremely pretty. Yes, it is still in my fine lines. I don't think anything will fix that, but I still really only noticed the lines on this half of my face where I originally went in with the brush, so I think they just may have dried down in my lines. The side that I used the sponge on does look pretty good. So my loves, here we have it. I'll check in with you in a few. Okay, so my bronzer and shit is still kind of crazy, even in regular light, but here it is. It really looks great. Like the redness that I usually have around here, I guess you still kind of can see it. We'll see once I take the photos if that's still visible or if there's really bad flashback. Here, let's take a picture. Oh yes, that's the winner right there. I know it looks a little bit crazy because I'm on my iPhone, but in person it actually looks really, really good. It doesn't look like there's much flashback. And then here we are, and oh, Mia's here. Hold on. Hey, how you doing, girlfriend? Oh, look at that sassy mug. I know. What a good girl. But yes, here it is in natural light. It really does look very, very pretty. I don't know how it would look on its own. It would probably look great without all this blush right here, but whoops. Going on several hours, this is held up magnificently. I know they do say to reapply it every couple of hours just because it does have that SPF in it, but if you're not worried about the SPF, this is totally good all day. I feel like this would probably be okay to sleep in. Am I gonna do that? Fuck no. Totally don't recommend that, but if you had to, you could. So yes, this will probably be be my last little check-in. I will see you at the end of the day with my final thoughts. And we are back. It's the end of my day. It's kind of been a long one too. However, I don't think you can really tell. Let me take a look at this. No, I feel like for the most part, everything still looks pretty much the same. My skin might have a little bit more texture. Let's get a little closer. But as far as fading, like nothing really seems to have faded, but oh my goodness, my forehead, the lines, the wrinkles, it is real. I don't know how well you'll be able to see that, but on this side with the brush, it is just like a line down the center of my face where all of the wrinkles kind of start. So my recommendations for this is to use it maybe even with your fingers, but definitely a sponge over a brush. Also, maybe do any under eye highlighting or contour or whatever before this, simply so that the moment after you blend this shit out, you can immediately set it with something. Otherwise, I do really like this. I do think that if you do have dry or textured skin, you'd probably want to stay away from this. I felt as though I was kind of getting that under control, and this did still seem to add texture, and it did still cling to dry patches that I thought I got rid of. For me, both of those don't look bad enough to make me not want to use this product, but if you did actually have dry and super textured skin, I wouldn't even fuck with this. I don't even think that using a pore filling product with this would be good because it is so silicone heavy. I feel like it'll just kind of slide all around your face. But again, you never know. This might work perfect for you. So who the fuck knows? If you're interested in this, I do recommend trying it. Is it perfect? No, but do I recommend it? If you do have a little bit of redness or discoloration that you're wanting to cover up minimally, then yes. I think you can go in very, very sparingly, so this product would probably last you a long ass time. I also feel like this would be a hella good mix-in, maybe even better than a CC cream. Like this product mixed in with either the Dior Backstage or the Maybelline Fit Me, it would just offer an SPF, a little bit of coverage, a little bit of correction, but the overall finish of it might look better because of the help from the other foundations. So I'm not happy with this, but I do think that there's ways that you could probably get this to work a little bit better than just using it by itself. Do I think this is worth the price? If this were just a CC cream, I would probably say no, because you can pick up a CC cream at Ulta for like under $10. However, the fact that this does have an SPF of 50 in it, and it does have a lot of good skincare ingredients in this, to me, that does kind of make it worth the price. And I know for a damn fact that you can use this very sparingly. This will last you a long time. So yes, I do think it's worth the price, but if it's not in your budget to just use this alone, I think this would probably excel even more mixed in. For me, I think the biggest issue that I had was the creasing. There really wasn't much flashback. In fact, here's the photo that we took earlier. That's what it actually looks like. I don't think it's that bad. If there is any kind of flashback, it's super minimal. I can't really even tell that there is flashback. I really like this. I think it's lasted all day on my skin very nicely, but like I've said before, and like I'll continue saying, I think this would really, really be better as a mix-in. So anyways, there you go. Thank you so much for being here. I love having you. And if you'd like to support me and my channel just a little bit more, please feel free to join us over on Patreon. It's patreon.com/poplux. There you get videos a day early. You get Patreon only content, plus best part, it is cheap, fun, and fancy, just like me. And like always, please be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell down below so that you're notified anytime I upload a new video. Don't forget my newest collection of highlighters, including Black Ice, which does change from black to white, is available at thepoplux.com. Also, my latest album, Kiss of Fame, is available everywhere online that music is sold. Thank you so much to everyone who's supporting them. Comment down below, let me know what you thought of this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. You can follow me on Snapchat, Instagram, and Twitter at officialnady, and you can follow me online at thepoplux.com. Thank you so much for watching. I love you all, and I will see you again soon. Bye!